Hello, this is Stu from Clay Soldiers. I'm outside the Hive Rooms, and in a few minutes I'm just going to be speaking with the boys from Armstrong Gun just to talk about music, their origins, and about the show coming up on the 14th of August. So let's go in. Right then, lads. Yeah,
You're the main bloke.
So Armstrong Gun, really thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
How did you decide on the name Armstrong Gun? And what's the meaning of the name?
It's named after a pub in Egham where I went to university.
A pub?
A pub, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Pub.
I knew there was
we
a
were
pub with that
originating.
name, but I didn't know that we were named after.
Well, the pub's named after an old
right.
Napoleonic cannon. And I always thought, whenever I walked past the pub, I'd say, that'll make a good name for a band. And when I joined the band, we were called Blackfire.
Yeah.
Blackfire.
Which I believe is already 4 or 5 bands out there.
Why Blackfire?
I think me and the drummer, me and the drummer sat in Weatherspoons and we had about 50 bloody names and 50 pints. 50 pints, yeah. And we chose Blackfire. It was going to be that or The Smoke. And I think The Smoke was a 60s band and it sounded a bit indie at the time. We weren't
retro.
Yeah, a bit retro. And then we carried that name for quite a while, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then you did some Googling, didn't you?
Yeah. And we were in the pub one time and we effectively outvoted Cam. We were like, we can't be called Blackfire. We need to have a new name. We're like 2 against 1, you know. And
to be fair, it needed to be done because when you,
I hope you came around.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did change my
He was adamantly against it.
Well, we did. We the logo for Blackfire is virtually exactly the same as the Armstrong Gun logo. We just changed the name. So it's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really interesting stuff.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it fits the lyrics as well. About the change of band name because we already had something Ravage, which is historically based. So
and when you Google it, you know, it comes up pretty quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what came first then? Obviously the lineup or the band name?
The lineup. Well, the current lineup did. Yeah.
Current lineup. Yeah.
And we carried on as Blackfire for a good 4 or 5 months maybe. I think I joined in would have been August 2019, and I played rhythm guitar at the time. But then I moved over to bass not long after. But yeah, we carried the Blackfire name until about January or February 2020, and then we outvoted Cam, and now we are Armstrong Gun.
We originally had me and Jack Sanders, then drummer, and Tucker on bass.
Yeah.
And we about a year jammed.
Yeah, up to about, I think it was about 10 11 months.
And we were just finding our feet, and I think towards the end of that lineup we'd written Ravaged and Still Alive, haven't we? And Howling.
Smart Girls was the thing, but it wasn't in the final.
Kind of a bit confused at times because we had all of those heavy metal songs, and then we had a flipping cowboy song like Southern rock. Well, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably about a month period when Jack left. I moved over to drums and Dan joined the band. Yeah. When the band name changed, we actually got a focus as a band, musically and lyrically. But because before that, when it was Blackfire,
it was just jamming. Yeah,
it was a bit of a mess.
And then and then
there was no
direction, was it?
No.
But the direction came when Dan came in. Just the new wave of traditional heavy metal stuff came rolling out, didn't it? We found our footing, definitely.
It's a bit hard to play traditional heavy metal when your drummer doesn't want to play traditional heavy metal.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan, but he left on good terms, and you know.
Yeah, we went off on a long tangent there, but to sum it up, the lineup came before the band name changed, didn't it? Yeah.
It did, yeah.
There we go.
Awesome.
You can answer all the next question.
Yes. So you have a real interesting sound. So what are your biggest influences?
Tank. Definitely.
not intentionally, but
not intentionally, no.
If you're familiar with Tank, early 80s.
Yeah.
From Croydon, like a mix of punk and metal.
Punk metal.
Punk metal, yeah. gravelly vocals and just heavy guitars, isn't it? And then I don't know.
For me, it'd be Iron Maiden. Like they've always, well, they've been my favourite band for a long time. Although weirdly, when I write, I don't really write too much like them. But lyrically, I probably take a bit of inspiration from them. But overall, I don't think we really like sound like them at all. Like maybe like in the very
Maybe
early
certain
days,
passages.
yeah,
Like when you really listen, you can hear it, but it's not like dual guitar harmonies. It's a little bit different on that. I'd say
probably a bit of Metallica as well.
early Metallica, definitely like Kill 'Em All era, and maybe even early,
great albums.
early Judas Priest as well, maybe.
Yeah.
But we all listen to the same stuff, but we kind of have our own little rabbit holes that we go down, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the old stuff basically.
The old stuff,
The old stuff. Although me and Dan listen to a few new bands.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my way.
Besides the pandemic, what's been your biggest challenges?
Overcoming the lineup change, definitely.
Yeah,
That was a big shock.
learning a new instrument in the space of a month.
Yeah, and for me, like switching. I mean, I primarily play guitar, and when I joined the band, I was meant to be rhythm guitar, but then with the lineup change, it wouldn't have been, wouldn't have made sense really. But yeah, moving over to bass. I mean, people say that if you can play guitar, then you can play bass, but they are. I don't think people realise quite how different they are, and I've had to really broaden like my style of playing and everything, and I mean, it has been a bit of a challenge, but I feel like we've done all right,
Yeah, very well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, when we started the band, I was only rhythm guitar, and when the search for a lead guitar player didn't work out, we kind of sat down and you
Stepped up.
you hit me around the head and said, "Better start learning some pentatonic stuff."
I mean,
It's quite literally
a
simple.
guitarist who doesn't want to play solos in a heavy rock band. It's a bit
bit weird, yeah. But now it worked out. I mean, it's probably about like first year was definitely forming the band and learning how to properly play all the instruments. To be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's really interesting change from guitarist to bass as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel like the first step changing from guitar to bass?
Well, even now I play with a pick. I mean, I do try and use my fingers, but for me, I find, people look down on you if you use a pick, but I don't really. I mean, I find it more comfortable, and I'm quite even when I played guitar, I was quite like rudimentary with everything I did anyway. Like I've never been much of a lead player or anything, so I've always been happy like playing rhythm, and I don't go over the top when I play bass. Like I keep the rhythm going, and I chucking a lick here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not like I'm no virtuoso or anything, But no, but I think for what we do,
He's a good boy.
He's a nice cat fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about this the other night actually.
Yeah.
Like, what
yeah,
are your songwriting processes?
Well, normally the other guys you'll have a riff laying about, or you would have penned a few lyrics maybe, and if we have a riff already, then I try and write a melody. I try and write lyrics and everything, and it can draw on any number of topics really. I've written about films before. I've written about war. Like seems to be quite a go-to topic for me. Like all of my lyrics turn out quite bleak really, but not for any reason in particular. But I'm interested in that kind of topic and everything.
It's usually riffs first, or some kind of backbone for the song.
Yeah.
Then you'll work out the whole song first.
Or I'll tell Cam that even before you've written anything, I'll say that I'm writing lyrics at the minute.
Oh yeah,
And then I'll show you what I've got, and then you come up with a riff, and then
we've got.
Yeah.
We're going to be working on a few after the album, which he's shown me some of the lyrics. I've gone, oh, that's quite cool, and then imagined it in my head, and then we sort of come together. But usually, it's some of the stuff that we've written all together. It's always the question is always what comes next. So you have your first riff. Doesn't always start off the song, does it? It can sometimes be in the middle, and
there's no one formula really.
Yeah.
No.
It's a song by song basis, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's what the song needs as well. Because sometimes we used to get a bit carried away with just adding too much to songs. I mean, one of the very first songs you and me did was Piston Head, and that was like a 7 or 8 minute instrumental, and there was far too many sections in it that, you know, when we look back and we're like, blimey, what's going on here, you know?
So you do like a lot of swapping and changing, like you bring up a riff and realise that should go at the end, and vice versa.
It's happened, it's definitely happened.
Yeah, most of the songs are reworked probably 2 or 3 times after.
Like even when we sit down and try and write together, like we have at the very least, a very rough idea of what we want to do. Like we don't come in completely blank every time. Like we'll have like some kind of area that we want to follow and everything.
There's sometimes like Alone in the Oaks. Originally, you lot didn't want to do because you thought it was too heavy. But then I sort of took the reins and said, "No, we've got to do it." And then we wrote the whole song. We're really happy with it. We never had an ending, and we must have left it for about a year.
Yeah, a long time.
And then I came up and I went, "Right, this is the ending," and then that's it. So actually, that song probably took about a year to write if you really
it
look
did.
at
If you look at it that
Sometimes think like things like that happen, you know. It's weird.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a happy ending.
A happy ending, for a doomy song.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you write most of your songs at home, or do you come to the studio and write?
Well, it's always at home.
Yeah.
I don't think we really work well if we sat in a room together and have to write a song.
We've written one in the studio. We wrote one in Studio 3, didn't we? Ravaged by Time.
Oh yeah, well sometimes there's a happy
That
accident.
was by accident,
Yeah.
But yeah, most of them are one of us doing a demo or a riff, and you go, "What do you think of that?" Yeah, I like that.
Well, but then we haven't really had a choice because we've been locked up for about a year and a half.
And quite often you're in a different country anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Steamhammer, the track that got on our first album, that was actually written before we'd even met, wasn't it? Because we then jammed it at your house, didn't we, when restrictions lifted?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Well, I got a question from Leon. Actually, this is actually a sensible one. Actually, I couldn't believe when he asked. I was like, "Well, that's quite sensible, Leon." And I know he's going to be listening to this as well. He's probably hungry while he's watching this. Get some popcorn or something. Yeah. So, would you ever do a collaboration on a song with another artist or another band?
If they had a good idea, yeah. I mean, I'm not against it at all.
I've always been interested with writing with other people, but not necessarily for Armstrong Gun. But I mean, if it fitted, you know, you never know what'll happen. I mean, some of the stuff we've done, I mean, you wouldn't be.
We're comfortable. We're comfortable with each other.
We are very comfortable with. We know what everyone wants. Yeah,
we'd all have to be. I'm not against it, but we'd all have to be comfortable with it. And well, clearly you wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind. I mean, it'd have to be a good idea.
Yeah, that's
if we're all.
I'm not sure anyone else would get Armstrong Gun. It's 3 very unique people who click well, and I'm not sure if you brought someone else in that they'd particularly get.
DIY effort is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. And so, have you got any plans for any new music coming up?
We have too much music.
There's
not enough time to record it.
I mean, the pandemic's probably generated, and I'm not joking here, nearly 2.5 albums worth.
Yeah.
So we were going to do an album directly after the first one. We're going to do an EP, and then probably mid next year we'll start writing for the second album. So there's a lot in the pipeline. We just gotta.
Well, we're doing the album in September.
September,
yeah, we're doing it, recording
full
it here
album,
actually.
10 songs,
Yeah, and then I think in the first quarter of 2022 we're going to look at doing an EP, and then once
Sounds
we've
well good.
we'll see what's going on.
We've got a lot of material.
There is an awful lot.
So, guys, how's your preparations for the show on the 14th? And are you nervous?
Pretty good.
I think.
I'm not very prepared. I still need to buy half a drum set.
Yeah, definitely do that before the gig. No, I feel quite relaxed about it actually. When the opportunity came our way, I remember either you phoned me or I phoned you, Cam, and we were like, "Do you want to do it? Are we ready? And we had the mentality where we went, "All right, fuck it, we'll do it."
We had a plan of action, didn't we?
Yeah, and well, you weren't in the country at the time, but after we decided that we would do the gig, we got together weekly and ran through everything, and yeah, soon enough I felt quite relaxed about everything, and we only got together for the first time as a full band yesterday, and we were here actually, and yeah, from the moment we started playing, like we had a couple of little hiccups here and there, but nothing
major,
monumental. But we quickly got into the groove again, and I thought, yeah, I don't have any worry about playing at the weekends, other than it will be a bit daunting playing in front of an audience. But I mean, you have to do it, don't you? And when we do it, it will be fun, and we will enjoy it, and yeah, it should hopefully be a really good day. Yeah.
My only worry is sound checking.
It was quite a big transition going from a year and a half and playing. I was about to say playing with yourself.
Yeah.
Playing alone in your house because obviously everything's shut. To actually playing live for once.
Cool. And this is gonna be your first ever show.
Yeah. First ever.
My only worry is
Nice
sound
one.
checking. That's my only worry.
Yeah.
They don't give you a
They give you a lot
great
of time.
window. I think it's about 10 minutes.
I think when we go on, it's going to be quite hectic. Like he's going to be running around putting that together. Dan will be going around setting that up. I'll be trying to load this up, But once we plug in and it counts us in, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I think even when we play live, I mean, obviously we'll have the drum kit in the middle, but I'll probably be to the left of it like I normally am, and you'll be to the right, and we'll kind of fall into the way that we normally play.
We don't usually look at each other when we play, to be fair.
Yeah.
Or if we need to for cues, but I mean.
Yeah.
Nah.
I am a bit worried about looking at my fretboard too much, because when you see people doing that live, you're like, come on, man, have you not learned everything properly?
Yeah.
That's why we're rehearsing.
There's a couple of ones which we have to do, and I'm like constantly having to go like, boo, 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 but I'm going to try not to do that too much, and if I fuck up, then I do.
So live.
I'll try and act like I haven't fucked up.
I mean, the worst case scenario is it's only 20 minutes of people booing you. So.
Yeah. It's not the worst time in your life, is it?
Yeah.
If there was a sentence that you could use to entice people to come to your show on the 14th, what would it be?
A sentence?
A single sentence to get people to the show.
Oh my.
Free beer?
Free beer? Is that going on your tab? I don't know. I'd say I don't know. I've gone completely blank here.
A new wave of traditional heavy metal.
Yeah. Come if you want to.
Come if you want.
Come if you want to have a good time.
Come if you want.
Come for a good time. Come for a good time. I know it sounds a bit cringe and everything, but you have to lean into the
heavy but
cringe
listenable
element. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk ourselves up, so we're.
Your mum and dad might like it. Yeah.
Hawley's favourite traditional heavy metal band.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Okay.
Also the worst, probably. I'm not sure of any other.
The worst,
metal
best,
bands at all.
and mediocre heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Oh no, come on.
So everyone in Horsham, if you're watching this, get yourselves to the 14th Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Don't miss it. Yes. So I'm going to go for some of the more random questions now. There's a lot of random questions that Leon asked, and so I do apologise.
Okay.
So do you shave wet or dry?
Wet.
Shave wet.
Yeah.
Seconded. Both.
Okay.
Although I don't really
Shaving where?
What?
Shaving
He didn't mention that. I mean.
Oh well, he won't know the answer to it then, will he? He didn't ask.
Only Leon knows that. I'm assuming on the face.
Yeah.
Right, Leon.
We dry shave sounds painful anyway. So.
Yeah, no, wet every time.
Oh my goodness, Leon, you cause so much trouble.
Yeah.
So this is a normal one from Leon actually.
Okay.
If you could play in any country for your next gig, where would it be?
For me, probably anywhere in South America, because they go fucking mental every time, even if you're awful. And then you could play a really bad gig, but they wouldn't know. Not to generalise.
Any Anglophonic country.
Yeah.
South America.
Or Sweden maybe. They've got a really good metal following community out there, and
Probably America, just somewhere in America. I feel like rock and heavy metal, even though conceived in the UK, it's kind of like taken over by the Americans. I just feel like it'd be quite cool.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare me? I think it'd be quite cool to play in an American stadium somewhere. Not that anyone would turn up, but
Yeah, it's good.
It does seem to be one of the few remaining places where metal still I wouldn't say mainstream, but
accepted.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, so this person would definitely know who asked this one, right? Would you ever do a hot sauce challenge?
A hot sauce challenge.
Oh, I know what they are. Yeah,
there was milk.
I've seen a few of them. Yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too good with hot food.
Is that before or after the gig?
I do it after the gig, I reckon. yeah, I'd be up to doing that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and even when as far as, right, would you give it a go for 8 minutes without having any drink or anything at all?
It depends what the prize was.
No, probably not, because I'm bad enough if I have one cup of coffee. I couldn't be dealing with all that. Yeah.
They went full on brutal there, didn't they?
The brown rain.
Yes.
Oh.
How do you feel about putting pineapple on a pizza?
I'm all for it.
I think we're all agreed.
I've spoken about it before with different people. Like, I don't know how it comes into conversation every time, but from my point of view, I don't think people cared until it became like a meme on the internet. And then everyone was like, I hate pineapple.
It's not a new thing. I mean, I think
it
was first in like the 30s or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been bothered by it, and
me neither.
And quite often I'll buy one, and if they're cheap
pineapple
enough.
for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Some people are they get set off by it. It's fruit on a pizza, but tomatoes are fruit as well, isn't it? So
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So shut up, internet.
Oh yeah, we have gammon with pineapple, yeah. So.
Yeah,
that's true.
There seem to be a lot of food questions as well.
Okay.
Do you like hot dogs first of all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you put on a hot dog?
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Or I remember, I don't know why we're spending so long on this question. if you go to some nightclubs have
Do they?
random hot dog person in the corner, don't they?
I go to Wetherspoons for a hot dog. They do hot dogs.
Not anymore, they don't, do they?
Outrageous.
They have better choices as well.
Outrageous.
The hot dogs are overshadowed by.
Do you tend to buy them in a jar or a can?
I've eaten them out of a can before, yeah.
Oh really?
I remember I went to my older brother's not too long ago, and like they'd had a can of it in there for years, I think, and I came round and went, "Oh, do you like hot dogs?" And like, he gave me a can of them, and I think they were in my cupboard for a little while actually, but I had them not too long ago because I think they were due to go off in I don't know, October or whatever, and I thought, okay, better have them. But they were right actually. They were right. Yeah.
This is the last killer question.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, you've never met this guy, but how smooth is Pablo?
Oh, Pablo.
Very. Yeah.
Very smooth.
Very, yeah.
He's a very good drummer as well.
Yeah.
Very tight.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give him in terms of smoothness?
11.
11.
11.
Yeah.
10 out of 11.
Yeah. Well, 10 out of 10, easily. Yeah. You can't really answer that, but I'm going to answer for you, and it would be a 10.
Not an 11.
I trust your good judgment.
Yeah.
Yes. And there you go. Thanks for your
Thank
time.
you very
guys.
much.
Yes, and
It's really fun.
good luck for the 14th.
Thank you. Yeah.
So remember, Ocean, we're watching you. Get down there. All right.
Thank you very much.
Last one.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.